Hi everyone, welcome back to our discussion of documenting lighting designs. So we've been talking about the lighting design process from initiation and planning through design development. Now let's go into more detail about contract documentation. Your contract documents are going to include drawings and specifications. The drawings are graphic representations of your design and of a lighting system that's going to be built. The specifications, which we'll talk about later, are a written description of the system, and they go together with those working drawings. The working drawings you'll produce are going to include clear and understandable plans, schedules, and details. These are going to be drafted documents and they're going to show the entire lighting design. You're going to use symbols, text, and all of your conventional drafting methods. All right. Why do we need these? We use them to communicate. All right. We communicate our ideas, we communicate our designs with the clients, contractors, engineers, inspectors, anybody else who needs this information. All right. We also use them to get feedback so our design can be refined in its initial stages. So let's focus in on the lighting plans because those are going to be your major documents. All right. What goes on a lighting plan? First, you start with a floor plan or a reflected ceiling plan. You're going to add, excuse me, you're going to add symbols for all the luminaires, including tags and dimensions. You'll add symbols for all the controls. You'll add switching lines or circuit lines to connect the switches to the luminaires. And finally, there will be a legend and or a schedule for listing all the details about the design components. Let's start at the top of that list and talk about the plans that go basically under your lighting design. All right, it can be a floor plan or a reflected ceiling plan. All right, so let's make sure that you know the difference between lighting plans, electrical plans, and reflected ceiling plans. In most small projects, and that could be a residential typically, all right, the light fixtures, the switching, and all of the electrical work are shown on the same drawing. So this is a combined lighting and electrical plan. And you can see that here in this example. For example, here is a light fixture. It's connected to a switch, all right, and we also have electrical symbols on the same plan. In larger, more complicated projects, which are typically your commercial projects, these drawings can be separated, all right, and the information is split apart onto different drawings. So here we have an example of a reflected ceiling plan, separate from a lighting plan, separate from the electrical plan. In this case, it's called a power and communication plan. Now, a designer can tailor these plans to fit the needs of a particular project. All right, sometimes you will see them completely separated out, sometimes you'll see some information shared. Here's an example of a project where they included a reflected ceiling plan and included all of the lighting and controls. All right, so take a look up here. For example, this small room, you'll see it's a reflected ceiling plan. We see all of the suspended ceiling grid. You see the lighting right here. Here's the luminaire symbol with a tag, letter A, and it's connected to the controls right here. Here's the switch. Just to hit this point one more time, lighting plans are not electrical plans. All right, electrical plans show all the electrical elements, outlets, dedicated service, circuit runs, all of that. All right, but here's where the confusion is. Lighting plans are often incorporated into the electrical plans. Okay, produced, stamped by the electrician or the electrical engineer. Hope this helps with some of that confusion. So let's take a quick look at this lighting plan here as an example. All right, you can see that it includes the floor plan. This is more important on this particular project, a bathroom, obviously, to show the floor plan rather than the reflected ceiling plan. All right, it shows the luminaires. You can see here's one right here. It shows the controls right here, and it shows the switching lines that connect the two. Over here is the example of a lighting legend. Here's an example of a second kind of lighting plan. This one's starting with the RCP. All right, it's starting with the reflected ceiling plan because it's a commercial project with the ceiling grid. It makes more sense to show that than to show a floor plan. All right, so you can see that we have the luminaires located here in the reflected ceiling plan, and they are connected to controls with these switching lines. All right. We also have an example on this sheet of both a lighting legend, here it is right here, and a lighting schedule. All right. So you can see both of those. So we're talking about the contract documents phase of a lighting design project. And the major thing that you produce during this phase are the lighting plans. In this video, we just went over the kind of the overview of what goes on to those plans. And then in the next couple of videos, we're going to go into much more specifics about the items that you place on these plans. Thanks, everyone.